In earlier session, we have seen two functions called fwrite and fread. Fread to read and write some data into a binary file. So in this session, we are going to see how we have to use the function fwrite. So this is a program where I would like to store some data into a binary file. Suppose we have learned the concept of structures already, where we can store the details of a student, different data types, using different data types, using a concept called structures. Now what happens is I would like to store the name, roll number and marks of a particular student. In structures concept, we have seen that we are able to read some data into the structure and print it, but once the program is exited, we are unable to retrieve back the data stored for a student. Now what we'll try to do is we'll try to store that data in a file. Now what I have to do is I have created a structure, and I have created a structure variable s1, and I created a file pointer fp. Now what I'll try to do is I'll try to open a binary file. Always a binary file will be having .bin, .exe or .out as extension. So program.bin will be opened in write mode to enter some data. Since this is a binary file, I have to write wb. Now I am assigning that to file pointer fp. If I am unable to open such file, what I'll do, I am going to say that I cannot open the file. Now what I'll do, what the thing I have to do is, first of all, enter some data into the structure. First of all, using your previous knowledge. What is your previous knowledge? Enter student name. Now s1 is the structure variable. So what I have to do, how should I get the name of student s1 dot name, how to get roll number s1 dot roll, how to get marks s1 dot marks. In that same manner, I am reading the student name, I am reading the student roll number, and I am reading the student marks in these three scanf statements. Now the immediate statement comes, what is nothing but fwrite. What fwrite? Already in the previous syntax we have seen that the first argument of fwrite function is the address of the structure you would like to, or address of the variable you would like to read. What is the variable you have stored all the data, roll number, marks, name, we have stored it in s1. So we are sending the starting address of that structure s1, comma. Second parameter is the size, entire size of the structure. How do we give it? We don't know the structure of the student. So what am I doing is I'm using the this operator called size of, special operator, and in bracket I'm writing struct student. So how much size is struct student, will calculate it. Here itself we have name 10 characters, roll number 11 characters, 21 plus 4 bytes for marks. So total of 25 bytes will be allocated. So this argument entirely is treated as 25 bytes, comma. How many such blocks are we sending? We are sending only one structure of student. So comma 1. Now where should we store it? At fp, means the file pointed by file pointer fp. Now what happens is the entire data for the student, suppose here I have given the name as Surya. Next roll number is 198R1A 05 some 61. Now what happens, what is the marks is 100. Suppose all these three details will be stored in file pointer fp. Now this is the way we are going to store the data in the file without losing the data when we go to another program based on structures. Now what happens, the task is completed, I'm closing file pointer fp. Since it is main, I'm just writing return and I'm closing the program. So in the next program, what are we going to do? We are going to retrieve the data stored in that file. In which file has this data been stored? Once all of you observe here, program.bin. So this cannot be removed. Why? Because the data has been written in program.bin. Now we'll try to retrieve the data from this file using another program.